Hello! Hobbit Rachel is back.
Guess who's back?
And this time, we talk in Hobbit fashion. So I suppose you could say this is part 2 of the little Hobbit tutorial that I did, because before I showed you how to do pretty much all this, and now I'm going to show you how to do all this. I thought what we would do is kind of break down the costumes from the movie and then talk about how you can kind of take that and form it into your own style. So the examples that I'll be showing you from my own wardrobe are definitely not screen accurate, but I kind of want to show you that you can use everyday items of clothing and have it be very reminiscent of Hobbit fashion. Almost like a step down from cosplay. Ooh, these freckles came out real big today. Oops. Well,
so let's get started. Let's take a look at Hobbit fashion. Now, obviously, Hobbit fashion is a lot different from the other races in the films, and I love it because I feel like it's rooted in history, and it most reminds me of colonial fashion, specifically mid to late 1700s. Or, if you've ever seen the show Turn on AMC and seen the character Anna Strong, basically anything she wears. Can't get anything past me. So first, let's focus on the lady hobbits. And starting from the top with the hair and makeup, I already did this in my previous video about hobbits, so if you're curious about that, go check that out. Next, the blouse. It seems like all the hobbit ladies are wearing sort of similar blouses, which is that very textured, feminine, billowy sleeves. A lot of them are short-sleeved. I didn't have a short-sleeve shirt like this, so I used this kind of Edwardian-inspired top that I got from H&M and rolled up the sleeves, and it kind of gives the same effect. But you can pretty much use any peasant top for this, as long as the sleeves are semi-interesting. Next is the waistcoat or corset. Now, some of the hobbits look like they're wearing this style where it laces in the front, but the others seem to be wearing a kirtle style where it's smooth in the front and then laces in the back, much like Rosie wears. Now, obviously, if you don't want to go out and buy a historical corset, there are some cheaper options that you can use. For instance, I got this kind of cheap looking corset from Amazon, and it's pretty easy to find Renaissance gear that's very cheaply made, but it does a good job. Also, if you don't want to use this, you can also just go with a normal waistcoat or vest. This is more casual looking, but again, sells that Hobbit illusion. Another option you can use is a dirndl. If you look at some of the background hobbits, specifically in the Hobbit movies, you'll see a lot of them are wearing very similar dirndl styles. And what I do is I just wear my dirndl and then throw a skirt on top of it. You don't have to do this, you could also just wear the dirndl as it is, but the skirt part isn't long enough for me, so I just throw a skirt on top of it. Next up is the skirt. Now for this, you're going to want a skirt that reaches about your mid-calf, so you can show off those beautiful hairy feet. And try to stick with earth tones that are either solid or patterned, because the essence of Hobbit is basically earth tones. I don't really think it matters what kind of style you go with for these skirts. For instance, this is more of a tweed skirt. And then I also have a more full swooshy skirt. In my opinion, the swooshier the better, just for your own sake. And also you can add an apron, because realistically, that's what they wear when they're working. And last but not least, don't forget about the cloak, because nothing says you're going on an adventure like wearing a swooshy cloak. And last but not least, the feet. And welcome to the weirdest thing I've ever filmed. Ooh. So you're going to take some spirit gum and put a layer of that on the top of your feet, and then on your toes as well. And then you're going to take some crep hair, cut off a decent length of it, separate it a bit, and then layer it right on top of that spirit gum. Ta-da! And now you're feeling sassy and hairy. Oh. Now that we've talked about the ladies, let's move on to the boys. Or, Hobbit ladies that don't feel like wearing a skirt or dress. They look like a boy band. Now the main thing about boys' Hobbit fashion is layers. So for the base layer, you're going to start with a linen shirt, suspenders, and their trousers. Now I didn't have a linen shirt, so I just went with a normal button-up collared shirt, which I think works perfectly fine. Next up, just like the women, is the waistcoat. It seems like velvet and linen are kind of the go-to for Hobbit fashion, so try to search for those. Next up is the coat or jacket. You could even use a blazer for this if you wanted. For me, I chose this kind of tweedy jacket. It's a little bit shorter than what the hobbits wear, so I also have this longer option. I look a little bit like Newt Scamander, but you know, it's fine. And of course, no hobbit outfit is complete without the cloak. That's a good look. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I'll stop. And now, folks, it is time for a super natural segue. You know, picnics in the Shire, pretty much the best thing. But do you ever just want to read a book and don't want to read a book? Well, now you can have your bread and read it too. And by bread, of course, I mean Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. With Audible, you can resume all your daily Hobbit activities and also listen to your favorite stories at the same time.
When Mr. Bilbo Baggins of Bag End announced that he would shortly be celebrating his 111st birthday.
Audible also has Audible Originals, which are exclusive audio titles created by celebrated storytellers from worlds as diverse as theater, journalism, literature, and more. And they've given us a fancy little code and URL. So you can go to audible.com/pinup, or for US listeners, you can text pinup to 500-500. And you can start Audible free for 30 days and you get your first audiobook free. So once again, for the toques in the back, that's audible.com/pinup, or text pinup to 500-500 to get started and get your free audiobook.
So that is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this and found it a little helpful or interesting. I don't know. And thank you to Audible for sponsoring this video. I will have all the information you guys need about that down below. I definitely would love to make more videos like this where I kind of break down the costumes from movies and show you how to do it in a more attainable way. I hope that you guys are all warm and cozy within your little hobbit holes. And I love you so very much, whether you're new or old to this channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Now this looks like the pod me, so everybody just find me and need a little controversy, cause I feel so empty without me. Ugh! Swindy. So yeah, let me guys know. Yep. So let me guys know. Rosie Cotton, who? Toro, come on! Ah!
There you go, just lay it down. Just start laying it down. Okay.
Okay, here goes.
Do some of your bread eating while I got this shot.
Fell on the ground. Oh no! The baby! Hello, baby.
Sit.